Thanks to our friends at The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. Visit fool.com/Rive to receive the top 10 stocks to buy right now. One of the stranger moves last week was Virgin Galactic stock losing 22% of its value, despite the fact that the company had a positive space flight. So this is one of those check marks that you want to see for a company that's basically pre-revenue and still demonstrating that it can make space flights, which is going to be its business long term. So why was the stock down? That's what I want to dig into. My name is Travis Hoyam. Thanks for watching Rive Investing. Please subscribe here on YouTube for all my content. And if you're interested in companies with high potential like Virgin Galactic, check out my newsletter, Asymmetric Investing. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. I'm doing deep dives on stocks like this with a lot of potential. But back to Virgin Galactic, let's get to the move that we saw. You can see here that the stock was down 23% in the last 5 days. Over the past year, the stock is down 52%. So not a lot of great momentum. But the big news for the week was that Unity 25, their flight window opened up on May 25th. They actually got this flight off as expected on May 25th. Commercial operations will now begin in late June with Galactic 1. That's where they're renaming their space flights. This was not really anything crazy from Virgin Galactic's standpoint, but they were testing their mothership, which has gone through some upgrades over the past year and was the first flight before commercial operations begin next month. That's going to start with some research flights and then also commercial operations with paying customers who are doing space tourism later this year. So why is the stock down so much? Well, this really seems to be the case of buy the rumor, sell the news. The stock had actually bounced a little bit in a few weeks coming up to this space flight, but after that was completed, the stock dropped again. So sometimes this happens in the market where the stock runs up for in anticipation of something, and then when the thing actually happens, the stock falls back again. The reality for Virgin Galactic is there's going to be a lot of capital that needs to be invested to get the company to full-scale commercial operations. Another mothership is coming online, more spacecraft need to come online, and the next generation spacecraft are going to be a little bit bigger, be able to carry 6 passengers instead of 4, do flights once a week instead of once a month. But those are going to take massive investments. And how are you going to pay for that? Well, one logical way to pay for it is going to be by selling stock. But as the stock falls, that becomes a little bit harder. So it's kind of like a downward spiral for Virgin Galactic from a stock price standpoint. But operationally, I think it's absolutely a positive that the company has completed this flight in May as planned. Hopefully the next flight in June goes as planned. And then we'll start to get a little bit more information about when commercial operations are going to start. That's where you're going to start to see more revenue per flight. Can be about $2 million per flight in revenue. And margins should be pretty high. Margins should be around 70 to 80% for those flights. So there will be at least a little bit of positive gross margin from those flights potentially by the end of this year. So some positive news from the operational standpoint from Virgin Galactic, but absolutely didn't translate to positive news for the stock market. We will see if that continues. But check back here to Rive Investing for more news on this company as it comes out. And don't forget to subscribe to Asymmetric Investing as well. I'll put a link to that in the show notes. Thanks for watching, everybody. See you here next time.